Okay. So these are our deuce blocks. This is some drill work of it. Okay. So this would be any gap scheme going to the right where they're working to a backside linebacker. So this is the tackle. Here's the guard. There's the three technique. So this guy right here will be the guy who's galloping, right? So you'll watch him kind of gain a little bit of ground with that first foot, and then you'll see him kind of gather his second step in. And then when he makes contact, like I was saying before, how we want that near foot and the shoulder contact there. This is what we're looking for. So when you go through these and you start teaching it and looking at it, you'll find like in the game, there are some of these that just don't get the movement that we want on the D lineman. And I would tell you that a lot of the times that happens, either this foot is not in the ground or this foot is back and behind and even with the tackle. So it's not, that's why a lot of times that contact won't be as powerful. Okay. So you want to try to see if that foot is in the ground and if the shoulder is there on the hip. Okay. So for the inside man, and I'm not talking quite as much about the inside man yet, but, we used to teach this as, the two guys working towards the three technique and then trying to knock this three technique and dent it vertical. That's kind of the old way Coach Atkins and I used to teach this double team when he and I worked together at Itawamba. And now, if you look at that, right, and this gets into some of the physics of it, and not to be a physics nerd, but if you're not kind of into physics as an O-line coach, then you kind of need to maybe think about how you're using angles and power and those things. But if you have a force that's going in this direction and then another one that's going in that direction, and the resulting force of that is not going to be as powerful as the two that are working, because they're working against each other a little bit to try to drive the defender in that direction. So one of the things that kind of drives this theory of why we gallop is this lineman is working his force in this direction. Okay. So then for this defender, we want to lift the three technique up. And again, I'll talk a little more about his technique later, but once he contacts it, we really want the guard to try to bring the three technique that way so that the tackle and the guard are both working with each other to displace this three technique. And what we're really trying to do is displace the three technique this way, right? Rather than trying to knock him back that way, right? That way we can use the force of the guard and the tackle together to create some more momentum on that three technique moving in that direction. Okay. But here's just